My name is Couch Coop, and we're going to be having a look at Remedy's Federal Bureau of Control Firebreak, not to be confused with Fireteam. It's a first person, online only. Wanted to double check you can't solo things. Good news is you can. Jury is out on whether the people in this footage are bots or real people, because it kind of throws people in there anyway. I did get an actual solo match going, so good news there. As the title suggests, this does wallow in the control lore. A little bit more than the Alan Wake stuff. In actual fact, they've used loads of assets from the Control game. This is not a bad thing. I thoroughly enjoy that lore, find it quite creepy. I love all the architecture, and they haven't held back on setting everything on fire and putting post-it notes everywhere. This is actually quite a crazy game.
Safe room activated. I'll send any future volunteers into the job site through there.
This game is available on the PC, over on Game Pass Day 1, can you believe, and on the PlayStation 5. It retails over on the Sony side at around £30. It does feel like it's come out of nowhere a little bit. I didn't see anything on the grapevine about this at some of the previous shows, but no harm, no foul. This is running at medium settings. I wanted 60 frames. You will see some detail drop in some of the enemies when they get up close, and this is sitting on my HD drive as opposed to the SSD, but it is kind of keeping it together considering how busy it is within these maps, but they're not huge, and you do have a task-driven game model. There will always be something to deliver, something to destroy, something to fix. Nice little QTE system here on the refill, on your ammo replenish, or basically anything that needs repairing, mending, or refilling. You have this little mini game on the shoulder buttons. It's actually quite funny. They should put that on more stuff, I think. There is a choice of loadout at start. Someone's got some water. There's a bit of a Team Fortress thing going on. There's an electric repair gun that acts as the most useless electric shotgun on earth. And you can switch out a pistol. There's a grease gun from 1945. And there's a nice beefy shotgun. It is trying to push a class/task system. So you could build something that could cope with what task you've selected. So this can be done on the menu screen before you go in. There's loads of different scenarios and also threat levels. This is quite important. The majority of this footage is threat level 1, but I do get it pushed up. This blends into how much damage the enemies can take, how many of them there are, what types come in. It was interesting to see that rotation. And the enemies themselves go down way easier than the stuff in Control. Obviously, because this is a hordy online shooter, they want that result to come through a bit quicker, I think. But you do get some slightly bigger spongy dudes coming along. You will recognise all of them from Control, even the dudes in the chairs that fly around, right down to the little grunts who are carrying small arms. And there's quite a few of them. You do take projectile hits, you have to be aware of someone trying to get you on the range front. And notice that there's fire everywhere, kind of all the time. And that's why that water build has got an alt weapon to be able to put those sections out. That fire stays there and it's a big obstacle. You can run enemies through them to add to the chaos and to make that water weapon of use.
That's what grit looks like. Great work, crew.
So we do have some customization, both cosmetic and perk based. You can just straight out buy better armor, a better helmet, even get some close quarters stuff going on. It's not huge, but it's a reward system that's related to the amount of times you die in a mission. It took me a while to work this out. The credits that you carry to the end of the bout are the ones that you get to spend when you're customizing your character or even doing the requisition section. This hasn't got massive amounts of depth in it. It does feel a little bit parallel to what Helldivers has got going on, with offering you the chance to sort of venture out of your build slightly, but not massive amounts of choice in the front end, which is okay. You don't want to complicate that stuff. This game, I think, is really about the tasks and the environments in which you're carrying those out.
Those leeches you see sucking the walls dry are turning Blackrock into something that's making our miners sick. Blast them out of the walls until they drop pearls. Then pick up the pearls and drop them into that shuttle. That'll be enough for your first day in the quarry. Just, Watch out for the glow.
I do think there's something genuinely creepy about the control lore and the locations, how you're normally underground, they're mining, they're discovering weird stuff, there's parallel universes, and they do keep that rotation up really well with the tasks that you're given. You also have a choice on a board, and they sort of rank up as you complete more. You can then go back and complete other stuff at a higher threat level, and that's when stuff does get quite interesting. So far so good though with who's joining here. They're not causing massive problems, and there is no friendly fire to my knowledge. There might be some splashback AoE damage from weapons that have got area effects, but I wasn't getting shot in the back of the head loads, and there was no warning that I was doing the same.
You leave that shuttle for the next crew. There's a strong S out there. Don't get out until it's dead.
It doesn't fall over too bad when things get busy over on the PC because I've got it on some majorly low settings, hence the detail on a lot of the enemies and effects going on here. It does cope surprisingly well with a lot of enemies on screen and stuff blowing up. I think that is the idea, that this is supposed to be an extremely hectic, explosive, rich horde online shooter, and it accomplishes quite a lot of that. I am also massively loving these change-ups, both in the environment, aesthetic and task. This one's got some pink mousse on everything, and you've got to try and strip it all down, get the machinery working again. It's nice never knowing exactly what to expect with some of these tasks. But of course, you can go back, put the threat level up, and then the dynamic changes because you've got a lot tougher horde on your hands.
So find it, find what's wrong with it, and get it fixed up.
I'm also finding the rank up rewards pretty handy. I've got a quicker run speed already. Grenades are now a thing for me. I've got some of the armor bolstered a little bit. I feel quite confident in going into a slightly difficult level. And you've got these great zip lines stretching across most of these larger rooms, which means you can give the horde the run around, get on with the task, and then deal with them at the end. There is quite a big temptation to do that, and health can be regenerated in these booths, which come with, you guessed it, a little QTE on the shoulder buttons. Again, a little bit of fun to be had there.
Well, that's one less old painted pink. Good job out there. God damn it! You gotta get that strong ass down before you evacuate.
They haven't mucked up the old time to get out of there. Haul the lift, hold that section till the lift arrives. You guys know the drill, and then extract, obviously, just as everyone's about to die. And death is handled quite well. It's the standard revive, get near them. There is no safe zone. You might have to clear an area, and they don't technically time out, but you can voluntarily respawn. But you will lose some of those tokens that you see over there on the left in green.
That elevator, pronto!
You need help? Our shift ain't over. Cheers.
This is a level that actually put me in completely solo. So there is no bot, there is no AI random, and I was not massively clear on what was required of me. This is to do with the heaters. You have to actually shoot them with the electric gun to get the jets going before throwing them into that freezing miasma. It will all make sense to someone who's been mucking around with this already. And we do have the shelters that are still in here. Not much inside them normally. They don't really offer that much shelter, but it's cool to have that door and get yourself trapped in a giant steel broom cupboard. So I don't actually mind this solo. It's a bit of a rarity to get a mission that actually puts you in-game with no one else. And it's obviously built from the ground up as a co-op PvE game, of course. And I like that idea. I think we need more PvE as opposed to PvP. Marathon has hit a delay, by the way. That's probably a video for another time. But blimey, the Sword of Damocles is already over that. And it's not even out the gate yet.
Service elevator's on the way.
Resonance shielding gone!
For what I consider quite a random release from Remedy at quite a strange time in the year as well, and it being a first-person shooter, is this Remedy's first-person game? I think so. I kind of wanted to do okay. Alan Wake 2 got tarred with the "it's totally woke" brush, and it wasn't. It was a damn good horror game with some absolutely amazing storylines and effects. I will link the review. The fact that we've got some cool control, lore and universe still going in an online multiplayer game, I don't think is that bad a thing.
Vulnerable!
This place won't cool down until all the transfer fans are back up and running.
But here's the conclusion, and I find myself saying this a lot more nowadays. I wouldn't go out and slap down 30 quid for this on the PlayStation 5, but I would 100% get on Game Pass, play it day one, have a good laugh with my mates, get a good taste for what it's got to offer, and then either move on or stay with it. It has also got a massive competitor that exists under almost exactly the same rule, even on the threat level front and the first person stuff. And yes, of course, it is Darktide. Behold my outro. I was Couch Coop. I will see you down there.
This would sharpen you up and make you ready for a bit of the old ultra-violence.